Hey guys, this is Joe Hammel with the FIRE Realty Team, an investor. And we just went through our first eviction, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk you through the timeline, the process, and the costs for doing so. We are at 28 units, been doing this for almost 5 years, and this was our first eviction, which I feel like that's a highlight in of itself, is that's a pretty good ratio. So this specific property, the tenant moved in December 2021, and their last day was March 2024. So they were there for about 27 months. They were off and on late, but they usually ended up paying. And then on November 2023, they were late and basically never caught up. So very systematic. Whenever a tenant is late, we don't do a lot of communication. We're not saying, hey, can you pay? When can you pay? This and that. We use Rent Ready, which is landlord tenant software. There's automatic reminders and then an automatic late fee. So we have a 5-day grace period. You don't have to do that. We do. And on the 6th day is an automatic late fee. On the 10th day, we have our attorney send them a notice to quit, which is basically, hey, you need to pay or you need to move out. And after 30 days, if they haven't paid, we have our attorney file with the court. And whenever the scheduling is, whenever the hearing is scheduled, the attorney attends this, not me. So this is pretty hands off. The attorney is doing the notices, the attorney is doing the hearings. So at the hearing, the attorney attends and then the tenant shows up and they'll typically work out like a payment plan. This one specifically get caught up over 3 months period, make some partial payments, make some full payments and get caught up. This specific situation, they missed their first two payment plan payments. That's it. That's the last strike. There's no more warnings after this. You have to move quickly. You have to just systematically send your notices, go do your hearings. Otherwise, this will just snowball. So after they miss their payments, then you can file for the writ. That is the eviction. The attorney does this, that gets approved, and your rate is good. Ours was good for 55 days. I don't know what every city is, but ours was good for 55 days. And you can hire the court to physically remove them and they'll bring a dumpster and move out all the stuff. Or you can work it out directly with the tenant, cash or keys, or asking them or whatever. We were able to work it out with them. We gave them a pretty generous 35 days. Hey, you're evicted, but you've got 35 days to move out. Be gone on for the 35th day because we're coming on the 36th and we're going to clean out the house and change the locks and we don't want to throw out your stuff, which they did. So that was great. So then the costs. Our attorney and court fees were $900. Not terrible, right? I mean, the attorney's doing some notices, they're attending hearings, and then your court fees, $900. Lost rent usually in here was the biggest expense, $4,428. This did include late fees, so it's a little bit fluffed up. But don't forget, we have a security deposit, and then this one we had a non-refundable pet fee, $250. So there's $2,250 we get to apply, we get to keep. So our net eviction cost was $3,078. And then we have the rehab, which I put an asterisk next to that because that's not necessarily tied to the eviction. On any tenant move out, you're gonna have some type of rehab. Um, so there's an asterisk there, but I did include it as a cost on this situation. So total eviction and rehab, we're at $6,578. But don't forget, we're saving. We're not counting, we're budgeting for vacancy, maintenance, and CapEx every month, as we're not counting that towards cash flow. So us specifically, 15% savings, 5% vacancy, 5% maintenance, 5% CapEx. Over 20 months, that equaled about $5,000. So now we get to keep that money. That's what that money's for, is a time like this. So now our net on this is our net loss is $1,578. But let's look a little bit bigger picture. So we purchased this in 2021 for $81,000. We did an $18,000 rehab. And now today, if we were to sell it, we have an ARV of $120,000. So our sweat equity is $21,000 we made on this. And then we also have principal pay down. So a lot of people forget about that. But that's rent money that's paying down the principal that is ours. And that's about $100 a month. So over 20 months, that's another 2,000. And then the cash flow, right? So this was a cash cow. We had a cheaper property, really low interest rate. We self-manage 20 months, $500 a month. That's another $10,000. So sweat equity, principal pay down, and cash flow, you're $33,000 made on this house in a little bit over 2 years. So now you have $33,000 made. You lost $1,578 on the eviction. So your net is $422. So this is what evictions are going to happen. They're a part of real estate, part of real estate investing. You're going to have evictions, systematically get through them, but I'm not going to give up the $33,000 because I'm afraid of losing the $1,500. So that's about it. Let me know if you have any questions. We are the FIRE Realty Team, #1 investor-friendly real estate team in Metro Detroit. And let us know if you also want to invest in the best cash flowing market in the country.